Well, I decided to jump on again really quick to let everybody know that I am still not feeling all that great. I did the Sundays in Shadowdale and I was feeling fine then, but the last 2 days I've been dealing with a bit of intestinal issues and congestion. So I know I'm supposed to be live today. I just wanted to give you a heads up that I'm probably going to just do this really quick 15-minute spiel, get some stuff off of my head, and then I am going to go relax, maybe get some 3D models sorted out for the new Elegoo that we got, because I'm still trying to get the multi-spool feature to work so that I can get prints that have multicolored properly. It's been a really crazy couple of days though, and I wanted you to know that I've been keeping my pulse on things. Yes, I seen the orange idiot's racist post about the Obamas. Not shocked. Yes, I seen the breaking news that he's having a bipartisan meeting without any Democratic governors invited because he's a petty bitch. He's trying to hold funding for the Holland Tunnel rebuild, which is going to fuck up New York, but he never cared about New York anyway. I know that he's pissed that the Patriots lost, so I'm happy. I was rooting for the Seahawks. Bad Bunny had an amazing halftime show. We watched it. I love that there was an actual real wedding. I love that he called back all of the cool stuff from Puerto Rico. It was amazing. And honestly, it's up there in my top five now. Because you know, I got Prince, I got Kendrick, Rihanna, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the other one that I liked a lot, but now Bad Bunny's in the top five. So it has been crazy, and while I don't feel good, I do want to get some things off my mind because I had notes together about the latest series of stunts for attention, I guess. I don't quite understand what knitting red hats, just like I didn't understand what knitting pink hats was supposed to do. But it's the same people that thought wearing blue bracelets would tell us who's safe amongst a certain ethnic group to be around. It's like, it's not the bracelets, it's not the hats. We need you to vote like your life depends on it. Those of us who know our lives depend on the stability of who's in charge, who's governing, who's in the White House. We have been told you the assignment, and some of you still think you can crib notes this, and cheat your way by pretending to be down for the cause and pretending to understand the assignment. Yet you still keep doing the same things over and over and over again. And I don't know what you're expecting to be different this time. I don't know if you're expecting that if you just keep saying loudly that you're on the side against fascism, yet you don't get your ass to the polls, you don't get your family and your friends down to the polls, you don't have the serious conversations, that they're not even making the distinction between alleged illegal immigrations and people who've been here legally all their lives, running businesses, keeping our American economy stable. Instead, you just want to play these games of, well, it's not happening to us, so while I feel bad and I'll knit a red hat to show them I'm safe, I'm not really going to do the thing that counts to help counter this literal domestic terrorism. I think that's what's bothering me the most about this, as I am trying really hard to keep my stomach from just, getting upset. And it could literally be an ulcer from all of this. And I think that is the sucky part. When I see the doctor and I get checked, I'm hoping it's not that. But it's like I'm keeping an internal rage and anger at the stupidity of some people. And I seen that article about knitting red hats, and let me see if I can pull that crap up because I couldn't believe that nonsense. I can't believe that this is what they're doing again. Because the pink hats already irked me back in 2015, 2016. Because what was that supposed to do? Oh, you're protesting the idiot getting in charge? If you had voted, because those poll exit numbers don't lie, we wouldn't have had him. And why the color red when you know that fucking shit with Make America Great Again is nothing but a red hat. Oh yeah, I found it. Let me get this. I'm gonna get the link and pull it up here because, like I said, I don't want this to be a long stream because I am supposed to be resting. I promised Axiom that I would take it easy because he could tell I really wasn't feeling that great. And I don't want him thinking that I lied to him and I'm just gonna do my own thing and blah blah blah, all that. But it is frustrating to literally watch people do the same dumb shit again. And I don't want you thinking, oh, you're just talking out your ass, Tim. What are you talking about? They're not doing this again, are they? Sadly, yes, they are. And I need to change the title on this. Drumming up support my ass.
More than 100 drummers set up their kits across downtown Minneapolis and played a protest beat for hours this evening. They're drumming up support to end the ICE surge.
Drums are an instrument that definitely gets some attention, right? There's some volume there. So it's a little bit different form of protest. I mean, people have been drumming since people have been on Earth.
Seriously, dude.
Some of the artists came from as far away as LA for the
I'm gonna pause that because I get it. It's cutesy. You get to show your music skills, and like I said, what's going on in Minneapolis is abhorrent. It really is. It's abhorrent. You can't use any better word. It shouldn't be happening. But I hope that everybody that took the energy to go and play those drums in protest also are getting their strategy for these midterms, because right now only counteroffense is to get a function in Congress. This is not a joke.
Drum demonstration, and that part of the story is coming up tonight at 10. Others are choosing a much more quiet way to protest.
Susan Elizabeth Littlefield shows us the Scandinavian history behind some handmade symbols of resistance.
We got a call, and it seemed like a...
You know, I'm trying. I'm really, really trying to understand the logic behind, well, we're adopting the Scandinavian way of protesting when all you had to do was fucking vote. Like, I feel like I am speaking a different language to people. You want these protests to, like, what? Get attention that you're standing up against this fascism? But the best way you could have did that was to vote to protect us in the first fucking place. I don't understand that. It's just like the pink fucking hats. What is this going to do if you're not going to turn out at the ballot? What? Come on. I guess Greg made it in. Let me double check.
Nothing at this Minnesota knitting shop has been normal.
And I realized it had gone viral, and it was just, and it was a couple of days.
And there you have it. I'm going to let the video continue to play, but and then we went viral. Why does that fucking matter? People are getting literally executed for executing their peaceful right to protest. And you're worried about your little knitting club getting viral because you're knitting red hats when I guarantee you at least 5 out of all those women in that room vote like their husband votes. And they vote for this tyranny. I'm fucking tired of the stunts over substance. I'm not joking.
It started after images like this went viral.
Because everybody was kind of despairing.
In a state where 1/3 people had Nordic heritage, a Nordic project made sense. A project dating back to World War II, when knitting and wearing red hats became a sign of resistance.
And I read,
The best resistance against fascism is not to let it get into place in the first place. And that's the problem I have with stuff like this. Even if these women are well-meaning, even if they think they're doing the right thing, even if they think it's cutesy and that they're getting attention on their cause, it doesn't change the fact that they should have took that knitting energy to get other circles together and gotten their asses to the proper ballot in 2024. It's why I get so fed up with social media right now. Because I see those weirdo hashtag resistance types. They think they're doing something by being on social media complaining about this fucking tyranny while slamming the only party that's trying to fight and not giving us the edge of actually voting for representatives and congresspeople that will fucking stymie this tantrum and toddler in the White House. This bigot who likes putting out racist pictures of probably one of the best presidencies in American history because he's jealous that he will go down 2 times as the worst president in American history. But this is the fresh hells we are in right now. People think this shit is cute. People think this shit is okay. They don't want to understand how deeply in trouble America is right now. We've got this idiot suing the IRS for $10 billion when it's fucking tax season. Now I can tell you, as somebody who used to prepare for people, who prepares my own taxes, and my husband, I help him with his. This is not the season to be fucking with people's money. But do you think that bratty wannabe billionaire who is literally using our country as a slush fund cares about the little people who are waiting on our meager returns? He doesn't. And we didn't have to go through this. We could have had the smart lady, the one with both the legal and the economic degrees. The one who promised the child tax credit would be extended to those of us who have special needs kids. Who had a plan for those of us who are trapped in the middle of taking care of our kids and potential elderly relatives. Who had the first-time home buyers program, which I'm going to be selfish and say my husband and I would have qualified for if she had gotten it up and running. But instead, you went full bore for Project 2025. Some of yous, even here in Michigan, went full fucking stupid because while you tried to one-note cause Gaza, you elected the guy who's letting Netanyahu do whatever he wants to the Palestinian people. And now you want to call out to motherfuckers like me. And I said this before and I mean it again. You always want us in the fight. We are your shields, we are your swords, we are your attack dogs. But when it comes to actually having the seat at the motherfucking table, you don't want nothing to do with us. You want our sweat equity, you want our organizational skills, you want our ability to protest and put our lives on the line. And I am so glad that something's really clicked in the brains of the majority of us. There are still some offshoots, especially amongst the young, who think, nope, I got to be out there, I've got to show solidarity. But I think there was a quiet resignation that this is not our fight anymore. We did not make this mess. The poll numbers do not lie. We have fought the good fight only to see people fuck up and then want us to clean it up. And nah, we tagged you in. This is your fight now. And it's simply because so many of you fail to take seriously how deep this shit is going to go. They're pepper spraying babies. They're executing American citizens. They are terrorizing naturalized citizens. They are trying to do things like deny people who are already in the process, only need to be sworn in, their rights to be sworn in. There are countless of horror stories right now. This is not what our country was supposed to be about. But so many of you have turned a blind eye because you thought, well, it's not directly affecting me. It's not my family going through it. It's not my circle being invaded. And now you see that's not the case. These same fuckers who want to ding Alex Preddy for having a holstered weapon when you are the ones that push that good guy with a gun narrative, but ignore the Kyle fucking the murderer Rittenhouse, whether he was convicted by a court of law, you cannot erase the fact that he got away with murdering somebody at a protest. Yet all these people want to ignore that fact. All these people want to still use lies and cover their eyes because woke is still bad. How dare I acknowledge other people's rights to exist, to be, to not be persecuted for, I don't know, not being the same status quo normie? All I know is that when I see crap like this, it pisses me off. Let it continue. It's not a long video.
The history of what the Norwegians did to protest the Nazi occupation of their country.
But you know what? The problem was the Norwegians didn't elect the Nazis. The German people did. And you know what? Their protests made sense back then because they were helpless under that regime's military power. But we, and I don't mean me, I mean we as America, inflicted this literal fascist, fraudulent dictator who more than likely, I gotta say allegedly because I only seen a video on Facebook, shit himself last week, and I was calling him Shitler, into power. This was self-inflicted. It was unnecessarily self-inflicted. So when you say, oh, I take from the fact that the Norwegians back in the 40s did this to protest the Nazis, the Norwegians didn't invite the Nazis into their country. The Nazis invaded their country. So you could have took all this energy and not had to make red hats to be like your Norwegian ancestors. All you had to do was cart your ass to the voting polls with the rest of your little sister girls.
Who owns needle and skein is an immigrant herself, says this folk person.
Here was my father in Egypt being forced out with no papers. They couldn't leave with anything. And this is the same thing that's happening.
So she recruited her regulars who were fully and poor.
These are literally leaders.
First, a
Did you
number
vote?
knit red hats together.
The next week, I had over 100 people.
Then they widened their reach, creating a melt ice pattern. Proceeds go to immigrant support groups.
For some perspective, a regular pattern might sell about 100. Well, the melt the ice pattern, thanks to these knitters, has now sold 100,000.
At $5 a pop, the numbers are astounding.
We are hitting close to $600,000. Yeah.
And the reach?
Poland, Korea,
Yeah, countries that aren't here. And like I said, under normal circumstances, I'd be like, okay, get that bag, help people out. But if you're only doing stuff like this, and I know I'm making an assumption, but I have to at this point because we were stabbed in the back in 2016 and in 2024, and I have trust issues. I'm not sorry for those trust issues because some of you are still playing the game that stunts like this matter more than making sure people vote like their lives depend on it. And I'm sorry. These red hats mean fucking nothing when these ICE agents could see somebody here in one of those hats and execute them. Because now they are making threats like, did you learn from the last time? Somebody just holding up the phone. Or you point that, I end you. They get to be masked. They get to be anonymous. But American citizens expressing our free speech by wearing such things put ourselves in danger.
Mexico, Hong Kong, the UAE.
And Norway, too, of course.
This in support of your state.
We have sold patterns to over 43 different countries. I know. It's insane. That's how much people want.
This is depressing. It's depressing because I swear, I know that she means well. And she's an immigrant too. And now they see with what's happening in Minneapolis that nobody should feel safe right now. But when I say things like this hit a raw nerve in my system because it didn't have to be this way, but we have such baked-in misogyny and misogynoir. We have people who are willing to throw us all away to hold on to the last scraps of white supremacy. And then you ask me why. I'm tapped out. I didn't want it to be this way. I wouldn't mind it under a true democratic run. People still protesting stuff that's going on overseas because geopolitics do matter. But now you've got somebody who literally doesn't give a fuck about any of your causes, literally murdering citizens. And you're going to tell me that's better? And then you're going to tell me that knitting stuff like this matters? It doesn't. And I don't care if that makes me sound selfish. I don't care if you think I just don't see the bigger picture. What big picture? They are rounding up 5-year-olds. They are pepper spraying kids. Alex Peretti died because a woman was pepper sprayed and he was trying to render aid. They are trying to give us no wiggle room and to only wallow in fear and pity. And right now, instead of organizing look at me bullshit, you should be getting your shit together on how we are going to get to those polls, vote, and get this motherfucker some actual resistance. Resistance that matters. I am not against protesting. My people, the whole civil rights movement was a series of protests. You know what? I guarantee you, all of those elders would have just loved to have lived in America where we didn't have to fight for our rights to be human. Didn't have to fight for our rights to be equals. And some of you just don't get that. And maybe you needed this, but the rest of us sure as hell didn't. I'm going to wrap this up because, like I said, I don't feel that great. I am getting emotional. I can't stand stuff like this. And I will try to be back Friday night. I literally forgot that I changed the time. By the time I finished making dinner and stuff, I wanted to settle down. And I think I was starting to feel the symptoms then, but it was like ebbing and flowing. I wasn't feeling it. I want to remind you again, our books now have a coupon. I will put the code in the show notes for 50% off all throughout Black History Month. As a Black author, I appreciate everybody who supports our written work. I am still working on not Terra Destiny's Chosen. Well, I am working on an audiobook for that. Axiom has its audiobook. I am currently working on Olaroon. Project Olaroon is coming out really nice thanks to Google Gemini. I took a lot of stuff that I wanted with LTX and just I'm redoing the whole pilot with Google Gemini, and then I'm going to edit it. I'm really happy with the voices. I'm really happy with the animation. It has been a great time. But I really am going to wrap this up. I felt fired up today. I think that is really imperative that people take our rights seriously because they are stripping them away little by little. And those of you who just don't want to pay attention to it are the main part of the problem. But I'll see you again hopefully on Friday at the end of the week. And just have a good one. Stay safe out there.